All right, I'm down here. I'm kind of working on this little Allis Chalmers B block. I got it cleaned up. Uh, I've always wanted a cam bearing tool. I've never had one of my own, but I borrowed one. I usually have a machine shop do it, but just to save me some time and money, I borrowed this cam bearing tool. And it's just these little sections here. Got a rubber insert on there, and you slide the cam bearing in, and the mandrel in here expands, and the little edge right there pushes the bearing in. These are the new bearings. You have to make sure you get the oil galley lined up because there's a hole in them. You can't see it. Let me get the flashlight. Those are the old cam bearings. And you can see the wear on the bottom side of those. They were in pretty bad shape. Now, the camshaft, it ain't great, but it's a little 20 horsepower motor with it's probably never going to do a day's work. Maybe riding a parade or something, but yeah, these journals are in pretty good shape. A little dusty. So anyhow, what I wanted to show here is this block doesn't have an oil galley in it. There's no oil gallery in this engine block. The oil gallery is inside the camshaft. This hole here is a 3/8 pipe. It sticks down here into the oil pan. It's the suction for the oil pump, and it goes on the back of the cam. That slot right there drives, and that pin right there, and it pushes the oil. It pushes the oil right out this shaft into the cam. The cam's pressurized. I think it's only like 15 or 20 pounds. The oil pressure on these is never great, but these grooves supply oil to the cam bearings. And then there's holes drilled here. I'll show you this one. And that supplies oil from the cam to the main bearings. And then again, with the cam bearings being that bad, I'm guessing there was quite a bit of leakage here. I've never seen one of these Allis Chalmers B's that had more than 10 or 15 pounds oil pressure, but I'm going to try to get one here. It's got a little more, maybe have 20. There is a relief valve. It's in the end of this. It's in the end of this here. There's another little pin and a spring and a ball, and that's all that sets the oil pressure. Yeah, so it pressurizes the cam. The cam bearings supply oil to the main bearings. So yeah, if you ever have one of these that are low on oil pressure, pull your cam out, check your cam bearings, because I'm guessing they're probably wore out. Anyhow, yeah, I've never put cam bearings in before, and I've put the back one in. The book says it's to be 1/4 inch from the back face of the block. That's just about what I got right there. My oil galley hole does line up with the hole in the bearing. You can see that down through there. And I'm going to put the next one in. Oh, I did put some Loctite bearing mount stuff on there too to hold the bearings in the block, because I don't know how well this old block is, but we're going to try it. Yeah, I kind of need both hands, and I got the thing here, so maybe I'll just set you up. I'll just set you up here. Hold on, I'll bring you back. Alright, I got it lined up here, and I'm using, there it is, that's a little better. I've got the screwdriver down the oil galley, just so I know where the hole has to be in the bearing, in the bushing. I've got some stud bearing mount on there, and well, we're going to knock it in there. That's the flashlight, so. Alright, let me get my rubber hammer. Knock that baby home. Yeah, there we go. A little more. The directions say 1/16 of an inch. The directions say 1/16 of an inch. That's pretty good. Let me, the little galley, all I see is brown, and I think that's the expander tool, so that's all the rubber expander is. And, oh yeah. Cam bearing oil hole is open. So, on to the next one. Let's move the camera this way. This little pivot here is what I'm having trouble with on the phone. Let me clean up some of this Loctite before it runs down in the hole here. And like I said, this engine's not going to be a real high horsepower thing, or is going to be used a lot. The last one, it says it should be flush with the front. So and all I'm doing is I put the cam on there, cam bearing on there. That inner center brown piece is rubber. Span the mandrel out. I think one side of these bearings got a little more of a taper than the other. Okay. And where'd my Loctite go here? Loctite. Well, we found a cap for it. Ah, I got it. Just a tiny bit. Stud and bearing mount on. Guy asked me today, so what happens if you ever want to take them back out of there? I hope to never have to take them back out of here. This is where my screwdriver comes in. It just helps me line up that old galley with the hole. More. Might need more hammer. It's in there. I don't think it's all the way in. Directions said, the manual said in flush, so let me make sure my oil galley is open. I think so. Now it's got to come back out of there. Oh no. It's open, but barely. Well, shoot. I may have to knock that one out. I think I got a cambering tool. That's what happens. All right, let's try this again. I see. This drilled at a different angle than the back ones. Oh yeah, much better. I don't know how much of that you've seen, but yeah, I like this a whole lot better. Yeah, the full galley's open there now, so yep, it'll be fine. That bearing mount will hold that stuff solid once it dries, so that'll be good. All right, that's what I wanted to show, is putting these bearings in. I've never put cam bearings in. That one's open. That one's open. So, yep. I wanted to show cam bearings, and I don't know if I have some solvent here. Hang on, I'll bring you back. I want to wipe them bearings out and I'll try the cam in it. Alright. I put some light oil, like 5W20 or something on it. Just slid it in there. I get the lifters in, and or the cam followers in. I'll put some oil or some assembly lube on it. So, but I wanted to show that I did get it together, and it does spin freely. So I'm happy. Next thing we got to do is put the sleeves in. So I'll get the cam out of it and get her turned over and drop the sleeves in. Yeah, they'll have O-rings on them. So, all right, I'll bring you back. One of the other things I gotta find is Allis Chalmers. You can see the marks from them there. Allis Chalmers put shims underneath them caps originally from the factory, with the idea is after the bearings were worn, you could pull the shims out and tighten them up. All the ones I've got are used and old and half deteriorated, so I want to get new ones of them, and I'm not sure Agco even has them anymore. I think Steiner Tractor has them, and you buy them in sets. I think they're about 4 thousandths a piece, and they give you an adjustment so that these tractors were meant to last a long time when they built them. They wanted them to be repaired and keep on going on the farm, and not have any problems, not even, reshim the bearings and go to town again. One other thing, when I had the machinist do my Farm All H, he put the camshaft in there, and the dang camshaft was so tight I couldn't hardly turn it. Needless to say, that kid's out of business now. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way that turned in there. And that's just with light oil. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the bearings on I was surprised. I thought the journals on the cam would be fairly worn, and they're not. As much wear as these little engines. I mean, they never had good oil, and the lubricating system wasn't great. I'm surprised that the cam, I'm sure the lobes are worn, but I'm surprised the journals where the bearings sit aren't way undersized. But looking at these old bearings, that probably a pretty good sign that they're, the bearings took all the wear. So anyhow, I'm going to flip this thing over and maybe stick some sleeves into it tonight and see how the protrusion on the sleeves are. So alright, I'll bring you back. Alright, I got all the liners pulled out. I don't know if you can see that. They want 2 to 4 thousandths protrusion. That second one looks a little low, but I think it's 2. They want it protruding, so that's where the head gasket seals. Now this block is cracked here and here, but on a 466 John Deere engine, these sleeves, just like this, touch each other. So yeah, that's not going to matter. The head gasket's going to seal the face. The fire ring will seal the combustion chamber. She'll be good. Probably 95% of these little blocks are cracked like that. The other block over there in the corner's cracked. All 3 of them. So anyhow, I got to get this cam bearing, or this magneto bearing too. I think yeah, what's her name? Steiner Tractor has those too. This engine kit is from A&I. This doesn't surprise me, but it's made in Turkey. The sleeve kits are now, the cam bearing set were Clevites. So that's a good name. The rod bearings are Clevite too. All A&I. Connecting rod 10 thousandths under. So yeah, I'm real happy with this kit. A&I products. I don't know. It was reasonable with my discounts. So yeah, I'm gonna lube up the O-rings and put slide them down in there, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. So thanks for watching. Alright, I'm putting these O-rings on here the way I was taught in ag mechanics class. You stretch them over there and don't roll them down the sleeve. First rule, don't roll them down the sleeve, and when you get them in the groove, make sure you go around them and get them squared up. So I lost my mount here. It's laying here someplace, but then I'm putting some light grease on the O-rings, and I'm putting motor oil in the bore so that the two are very slippery. I did have some Parker O-ring grease, but it was some kind of silicon based oil. I don't know what it was. It was Parker Supo lube, but can't find it. So anyhow, that's what I'm doing. I'd show you this, but I can't find my mount, so I'll bring you back here in a minute. Alright, there's the grease on it. Bores down there is oiled up. I'm going to drop this thing in. And all of them just kind of pushed in. I need both hands for this. There it goes. Just like that. And then I take the plastic mallet. That's that. I'm happy with that. And these boxes here, I got Cummins parts and Cummins camshafts and Allis Chalmers parts. It's all going together. It's all going together before winter gets here. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.